What's up, YouTube? So, welcome back. First of all, Don with the Don Franz Show. We're going to talk about Tesla in this video. We're talking about what we said last week about Tesla, and then what's going to happen, what could happen going this week. I'm sure I'm probably one of the last YouTubers talking about his tweet. Right? He posted a tweet. I'm brand new on Twitter, so it's still just Don Franz Show if you want to follow me there. But he posted a poll about should he sell 10% of his shares to pay for taxes. You know, everyone loves to complain about billionaires not paying taxes. They complained to Elon. He's like, oh, if you have all this, why don't you solve the world hunger, all that? Then he sold all his properties just to say F off. Like, now you can't. Like, he loves just coming back at these guys. So, you know, just recently someone else, it was the UK said, he said, I'll sell $6 billion worth of my shares to solve the hunger over there. All you have to do is put your accounting or make it public. You know, they back down because, well, what kind of government would they be if they didn't? You'd be able to trust them. And what government can you trust? So, anyway, he's saying he's going to sell 10% of his shares, roughly like $24 billion worth, which would probably be a red day for Tesla. Now, obviously, yes, I am still in my puts. I told you guys last week that I was in like a mess of plays. I had bought calls when they pushed up. I had sold calls against them, bought puts as it came down, sold puts against it. Still in all those plays except for the calls. Luckily, it was, I want to say, Thursday's video. I told you guys all of them but one had tagged out. Or Friday, no, it was Wednesday. Wednesday, all but one tagged out. Thursday, the other one did. Friday, just kind of hanging out. And look right where we closed on Friday, by the way. All I'm in is put spreads on this. But to be clear, guys, so I am a trader. I take advantage of short-term swings in the market. I'm not a day trader or a swing trader. I buy when it makes sense. I sell when it makes sense. The question for me is always what move is coming next. And I spend a lot of time on here explaining it to you guys and then also telling you guys, don't be stupid. It's more about risk management. If you're going to dive into this world, some things are spicier than others, and you know, your allocation in that should reflect that. So I have shares in Tesla that I'm invested in. I don't plan on selling them. Nothing's going to change. Tomorrow might be a bright red candle. I'm still going to have all those shares. Now my put positions are going to be up. My shares, they're going to be down. I'm not going to sell them. I told you guys I'm going to buy more at the $900 mark. Probably again at $800. You know, as far as me saying, I say I'm going to catch that knife there. You know, when it gets there, I'll for sure probably catch that knife. I think that'll be a strong level. Other than that, where am I looking to add on to like investment shares? It's probably going to be closer to this trend line down here. You know, we've kind of kept this trend. Now, each time we get a little carried away, we do come back. You can call it whatever you want. There's always an excuse, but it does follow. This happens a lot in the markets. It pushes up and it pulls back. If you deleted the news and never paid attention to it at all, you would never know that Elon tweeted that. You would just know it went up and it came back down. Ebbs and flows of the market. I choose to just take advantage of that. One of you guys in the comments the other day said, I scared you out of a position. Right now, in that video, I didn't want to go back and count how many times I said tomorrow's going to be green. I'm feeling bullish. Chart might be a little bit up there, but I expect tomorrow to be green. It was still green. You complained. Now, this is not a troll complaint, by the way. I would never address a troll. This is actually he's been viewing my videos for a while. If you look at the comments, I scared him out of a position. You should never be scared. If you're scared, your allocation is probably a little too high. That's an emotion. If you're not a robot in this, I'll tell you one of two things. If you don't care at all, allocation is probably little. You can probably bump it up a little bit. There's too little, you don't care too much, and you have anxiety and you can't sleep at night. And then someone even saying they're bullish on YouTube might freak you out. Dial that back a bit. Because what I say should never scare anybody. I don't give you guys directional bias. I tell you what I'm thinking, but you're the one clicking the buy and sell button. I tell you guys to manage risk over and over again. And what we drew out was the expected moves. You guys were so bullish on Tesla. Tesla's just getting started, this and that. And I heard all of it. And I heard how dumb I was because I drew these lines and it just awkwardly played out like it does. If you're new here, you're probably going to see a whole lot of these coincidences. If you're not, you've seen it play out before. I just want to delete these lines. We drew out the expected move. Now, this week, we are actually expecting a $106 move on Tesla. So this was one standard deviation. And I even drew a nice little rainbow out there for you guys. 65% chance we stay inside here. 95% chance we stay inside here. 99% we stay within the 3. I obviously acknowledge that we could get crazy, but we never left Market makers didn't have to do a dang thing. When we get outside of these, that's where gamma squeezes come in. That's why we're making this video right now. This first week was a gamma squeeze. We expected $40. We got past that. It's time to start hedging. The market makers, they are a neutral playing field. When you buy your calls, they have to buy shares to hedge your bet. So that's why we talk about delta so much. That's how many shares you're controlling. That's how many they are going to hedge, depending on their algorithm. It's never just not always a one-to-one. But when you start buying out of the money and it reaches up there, now we got to hedge for that. That's how you get that just spiral up or down. So we got above it. These are my numbers that I made up in my head as far as when we get outside that standard deviation. We're going to draw out the more recent ones. When we get outside it, I say 80% chance we bring it back. Out of just all my trades, we always see it kind of, they rein it back in. That 20% chance, though, that they go to that second standard deviation, it might take Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to get just outside the first one. It'll take all of Thursday to get to that second one. That's where delta hedging, gamma squeezing starts to take place and things get violent. So that's where I tell you guys, it's time to cross your T's, dot your I's. You guys know the saying, it's time to button things up. That's not where you want to start slacking off in the markets, because that's where you'll get bit the most. Or you'll make the most. You'll think you're a genius, you know everything, and then one day it won't be with you, won't be in your favor. It's going to hurt. So we pushed up, got a little bit outside of it, reined it right back in. We're going to do the same thing again. So from Friday's close, we're expecting $106. I was really going for it there. I drug that mouse down like we were just going to make a move. Uh-oh. That does not look like a big move. This is easy just doing the lines like that. All right. We're not going to fight over pennies on a $1,100 ticker. Let's change these. What do we make them pink? Dash. Give them a 3. Pink. Okay. Now, just for giggles, let's do it again. That's one standard deviation. Let's break it down. That's close enough to 2. There's 2. On the off chance Elon comes out and says, JK, I'm keeping all my shares. You guys can tax it if you want. There's always a Tesla bull. There's always a YouTube channel out there telling you one reason it's going to go to 1,500. I've heard a bunch of price targets. And you guys are listening to analysts talk about price targets. An analyst isn't talking about next week. Your guys probably suck. Not your guys or you guys. Your performance probably sucks. It's not matching up with the other YouTubers because you're in here trying to trade this, and they're talking about a 36-month or a 5-year outlook, and here you are thinking it's going to do that tomorrow. There's one guy that said 1,500 by, what was it, Thanksgiving? That was closer to trading. You could have taken his advice, and it sounds like you're about to get burned because him selling that many shares is probably going to spook. Investors will sell from uncertainty. They will sell because they want to beat that tidal wave coming. I don't know if we can do it real quick. Hang on. Quick little snapshot of how the market actually works. You an active trader? On the futures contracts, we'd see a lot more. See how that says 8? Someone says they're going to buy 100 of them. That's actually 800 shares at 12.16. Now, as they drop, they just go in there and Elon says, sell the 10%. Now, imagine during market hours, this is not going to say 8. That'll say 800. You know, these all have a bunch of numbers. That's how things fill. You want to know how far it's going to... If Elon says, sell all of that right now. You take that 10%. You take how many shares that is. And then you count how many shares it will take to fill that, because that's what a market order will be. And you'll just add all these up, and as soon as all those orders are filled, that's where that candle will stop. That's how much it could go down. Now, when they enter and exit like this, if you've been following for a while, you guys know they have algorithms enter and exit. It won't necessarily be a drop like that. That would be catastrophic. That would trigger everyone stops. That would send Tesla to 600 probably rather quickly. It would halt. I'll put it that way. We'll be talking about it that day for sure. So as far as that goes, once this vote happens, I imagine it's going to pass. His brother already sold some shares the day before Friday, so why wouldn't you? and then bring it back down. You get to tell everybody, I did this for you. Elon gets to sell at the peak. There's always an excuse. When things run up this high, some of you guys are probably still bullish. Some of you guys might have just bought in. You might have thought that was the dip. I don't know what got into you. Maybe you're on the five-day chart and you're thinking, hey, that looks pretty bullish. Let's go. That's a bullish blanket. You drew a line on your chart and you thought that made sense. And you're probably about to catch a gap down. Hopefully, you knew the risks before you ever clicked buy. And when it gaps down, you didn't take a hit. You can only lose your ass if you put it out there on the line. That's why the experienced traders, they don't have their whole account in there. And I did say experienced traders don't have their whole account out there. Yeah, some of you guys, that might hurt some of your feelings. You do that, well, this is what's going to happen. Hopefully that was in your plan. Especially Tesla, a Colt stock that can run. The pitchforks and torches they got out, you thought that wasn't going to come to an end? Their legs didn't get tired? Someone thought it was going to go to the moon. Everyone has their price to sell. And right now, those bulls with every green candle thought, is this the day I'm going to sell? And they might have just got pushed over the edge. So how many people are going to sell with or before Elon? Again, some of you guys are going to really come at me because you're just all you care about is Tesla bull. Tesla can do no wrong. Tesla, I absolutely love it. But I'm also not stupid to how things actually work. So as far as where am I going to buy the dip, close to that red line, I will catch the knife at the $900 and $800 mark. Right now I'm in puts. That obviously stands to play out well. The really risky one, everybody sells. His brother buys back in. And he tweets, I'm not going to sell. You should think about that if you're a Tesla bear. Because if you think Tesla hasn't done... Elon doesn't like the SEC. He also doesn't like Tesla bears. So let me just put that word of caution out there for the bears. You'll probably have a green day. And when that hype begins to just take over and you're feeling it, man, how bad would you get crushed if Elon said, just kidding, and everyone floods back in? You'll be locking that at loss in at a pretty decent amount. So know your strategies, know your risk. I'm going to end it here. We drew out the expected moves. Again, we get outside here. I almost forgot what I was saying. Delta hedging will take place right here. And then, you know what? Let's just, because some of you guys just don't get it. Let's draw it out. 106 was enough. That's 3 standard deviations right there. 99% chance we stay inside that. I can tell you that. If you're long, 99% chance we won't go below that. That's the bell curve for you. So I'm into here. Let me know down below, what are you guys in? Sorry if you're a Tesla bull and you're fuming right now. But again, if you're just super emotional because you're about to lose some money, I would ask, what are you doing in this market? Because to think that tweet, that bad news can't happen overnight, you're just completely blind. Now, beginner's luck can only last so long, and you run around these markets blind long enough, you're going to get smacked. If that's a lesson you're about to learn, let's make sure, maybe you only have to learn that lesson once or twice. But to think anything's bulletproof, previous to this, I don't know the word I'm using, you guys know. You're silly. There's not a ticker that can escape any bad news, whether it's from the CEO or something else. So I'll end it here. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm interested to hear your guys' plays. For you super emotional ones, dial it back and don't look at, this isn't Elon's fault. If you're about to lose money on this, this is your fault. Period. You clicked the buy button. You bought into some hype. Question who you're watching, who influenced you. If you want to question that, go for it. But this is, in the end, is still going to be your fault. So I'll end it here. Again, one last time in the comments. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 1 hour after open. Let's see what this does to, let's see what the futures open tomorrow. So should be around 1 hour after open. You'll get that notification. If you did click subscribe, you did click that bell, and I will see you guys tomorrow live.